Hello, and welcome to Season 1, Race 19 of my F1 22 career mode, my team career mode. We are here in Austin. Easy for me to say, Austin, Texas, for the U.S. Grand Prix. Qualified P11. We could be moving up due to grid penalties. We'll wait and see on that. Sainz is on pole. In a recap of the championship standings, it is Charles Leclerc in the lead, ahead of Max Verstappen by 10 points and Sergio Perez by 34. Anybody who is greater than 75 points out of the lead after this race is eliminated for the championship. So Sainz is on the verge, so he could use a good result today or in the race. And there you go, taking a look at the rest of the grid. Of course, we have those components that we need to adapt for the new regulations in the season 2. Everything but the arrow. Ah. Alright. Let's get ready for the race. Let's do some part adaptations before we dive into it. No rain, so that's good to see. It's time to adapt some parts. Probably good to adapt the last remaining in the durability section. So that's all taken care of. Let's see, 250 is the cheapest here. Here, 198 is the cheapest. So why don't we do that, that, do that. Alright, so we have 5 more things to adapt in the chassis, and 5 more things to adapt in the engine. I think we can get those done before the end of the year. No commentary as per usual, so I hope you enjoy the US Grand Prix.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Räikkönen delighted the world by taking the top step of the podium for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what I wonder is in store for us here today. We have 10 turns to the left, And 10 turns to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and turn 12 at this anti-clockwise track. It's 3.6 miles long, and we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso. Hamilton, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon, Golden Boy, and Valtteri Bottas. Verstappen, Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel, and Gasly. Mick Schumacher, Oscar Piastri, George Russell, they've taken a grid penalty, and Guan Yu Zhou. Magnussen, Latifi, Albon, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
DRS is being enabled this lap. With new DRS, when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, gap ahead is 6.2 seconds. Six seconds for the next car, 6 seconds. to the car in front is 9.3 seconds. Okay, stand by. We see a problem our end and we're looking into it. Okay, stand by. We see a problem our end and we're looking into it. Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Okay, we have a severe engine issue. Find a safe space to retire or return to the pits. I repeat, find somewhere to retire the car immediately. It's too dangerous to stay on track.
A truly magnificent drive and a great performance from the entire team, securing victory here in Austin. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, Who do you pick?
Well, there's no question in my mind. It has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
Let's move on to the constructors. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, I guess we were due for a DNF, and it came at my home race, which is a bit of a stinger, but there you go. That was the US Grand Prix, abbreviated edition. Lando Norris gets the win, so both McLaren drivers have won a race this year. Daniel Ricciardo won in Austria, and Lando Norris won in Austin, so nice little symmetry there, I guess. Championship standings, Leclerc extends his lead by 3 points over Max Verstappen, 13-point lead. Sergio Perez, 41 back. Carlos Sainz gained a little. He's 62 back. Sainz is still technically in the championship hunt, though Mexico, which is the next Grand Prix, is essentially an elimination race for him. So if he's not within 50 points, he'll be out of it. So there is that. Norris jumped me in the driver standings. That's not a surprise. He won a race. Constructors, Red Bull leads over Ferrari by 8 points. And we are 6th. Firmly in 6th. So, it's good. So, not the best result, but is what it is. Sometimes you get dealt a bad hand, and that's how it works sometimes. So.
Our running costs are significantly less than the income we're pulling in. I suggest we start looking for opportunities to spend that profit margin.
Nice. 0 points for that. What's the turbocharger? Hmm. Do have 938 points. Alright, so that's good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more parts to go to adapt. So that's good.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
And yeah, that's it. So again, thank you for watching an abbreviated version of the US Grand Prix with the engine failure. And tune in for the next Grand Prix weekend, which will be Mexico.